Slowly, desperately slowly it seemed to us as we watched, the remains of passage debris that encumbered the lower part of the doorway were removed, until at last we had the whole door clear before us. The decisive moment had arrived. With trembling hands, I made a tiny breach in the upper left-hand corner. Darkness and blank space, as far as an iron testing rod could reach, showed that whatever laid beyond was empty and not filled like the passage we had just cleared. Candle tests were applied as a precaution against possible foul gases, and then, widening the hole a little, I inserted the candle and peered in. Lord Carnarvon, Lady Evelyn, and Calendar standing anxiously beside me to hear the verdict. At first, I could see nothing. The hot air escaping from the chamber causing the candle flame to flicker, but presently, as my eyes grew accustomed to the light, details of the room within emerged slowly from the mist. Strange animals, statues, and gold. Everywhere, the glint of gold. For a moment, an eternity it must have seemed to the others standing by, I was struck dumb with amazement. And when Lord Carnarvon, unable to stand the suspense any longer, inquired anxiously, "Can you see anything?" it was all I could do to get out the words, "Yes, wonderful things." Then widening the hole a little further, so that we could both see, we inserted an electric torch. My first care was to locate the wooden lintel above the door. Then very carefully, I chipped away the plaster and picked out the small stones which form the uppermost layer of the filling. The temptation to stop and peer inside at every moment was irresistible. And when, after about 10 minutes of work, I had made a hole large enough to enable me to do so, I inserted an electric torch. An astonishing sight its light revealed. For there, within a yard of the doorway, stretching as far as one could see and blocking the entrance to the chamber, stood what to all appearances was a solid wall of gold. For the moment, there was no clue as to its meaning. So as quickly as I dared, I set to work to widen the hole. With the removal of a very few stones, the mystery of the golden wall was solved. We were at the entrance of the actual burial chamber of the king, and that which barred our way was the side of an immense gilt shrine built to cover and protect the sarcophagus. It was visible now from the antechamber by the light of the standard lamps, and as stone after stone was removed and its gilded surface came gradually into view, we could, as though by electric current, feel the tingle of excitement which thrilled the spectators behind the barrier. It was, beyond any question, the sepulchral chamber in which we stood. For there, towering above us, was one of the great gilt shrines beneath which kings were laid. So enormous was this structure, 16 feet by 11 feet and 9 feet high, we found out afterwards, that it filled within a little the entire area of the chamber, a space of some 2 feet, only separating it from the walls on all 4 sides, while its roof, with cornice top and torus moulding, reached almost to the ceiling. From top to bottom, it was overlaid with gold, and upon its sides there were inlaid panels of brilliant blue faience, in which were represented, repeated over and over, the magic symbols which would ensure its strength and safety. Around the shrine, resting upon the ground, there were a number of funerary emblems, and at the north end, the 7 magic oars the king would need to ferry himself across the waters of the underworld. The walls of the chamber, unlike those of the antechamber, were decorated with brightly painted scenes and inscriptions. Brilliant in their colours, but, evidently, somewhat hastily executed.